Okay. Hello, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Tobias, and today we're going to talk to you about why prostitution should be legalized. With our team's extensive research into this subject, we have analyzed information from professionals and governments from around the world, and after doing so, we have come to our conclusions. We believe that prostitution should be legalized for the benefit for society, for the freedom of self, and for the safety for those involved.
We are going to highlight the need to change the current legalities of prostitution. We're going to pose solutions to this problem and explain the benefits of a potential future with these solutions in place. Now, we will describe why the need for legal prostitution exists and the primary problematic causes of the current situation.
Canada prides itself on being a free country. In fact, we are globally seen as a leader of freedom. As a free country, consenting adults should be able to provide this service. The safety of those within the sex trade is at risk. Assault, rape, murder, and transmission of sexual diseases is a commonplace, but this can be regulated. Resources used to currently enforce prostitution, regulated laws can be used to regulate and ensure the safety of a new industry, as well as the industry itself can be beneficial by providing tax. We now present to you solutions for your considerations.
In order to resolve these problems, we must first legalize prostitution. This will allow for the basic freedom for those consenting individuals to choose to work and make a living how they please. It will allow them to do this safely and with the confidence knowing that the law enforcement will protect them from abuse like all citizens of our country. This trade will generate tax money as well, which instead of draining funds to shut down a forever in-demand activity, it will generate money to benefit the control of society's harmful crimes. Further funding for education, healthcare, and debt relief. Further proponents of legalization of prostitution can be found on procon.org. Legalizing prostitution will allow consenting adults to have the choice and freedom to provide service in the labor industry. Regulatory measures will be beneficial. It will help control over regular medical testing, safety standards, and measures will prevent disease, abuse, and exploitation. The funds previously spent on attempts to control prostitution could be used towards other societal benefits. These are all practical ideas of how legalized prostitution would operate. Now you're going to learn how these ideas would benefit society. Now I'm going to hand it off to Tobias.
These controls posed upon the legalization of the sex trade will benefit not only those who participate in it, but society as a whole. We will now attempt for you to visualize what it would be like to live in a world with prostitution being legal. Picture Canada as a true country that expresses the value of freedom. The legalization of prostitution will allow consenting adults to have the choice and freedom without constraining their rights. Now visualize this idea of a new industry with new regulations and the benefits that come by them. Imagine how many lives will be healthier from the control and the prevention of STDs, and how many women will be saved from abuse. Remember that pig farmer out in BC that killed all those prostitutes? That'll never happen again if prostitution was monitored and regulated. I would like you to dream of a society will have acquired new resources from taxes collected off the industry that could be reallocated to heinous crimes, funding healthcare, education, and federal debt. I'll now pass this off to Tyler to conclude our presentation.
Legalizing prostitution will allow consenting adults to have the choice and freedom to provide service in the labor industry. It also means that regulatory measures will be implemented, which will in turn be beneficial to participants and all others within society. These measures will include the control over regular medical testing, safety standards, and prevent abuse and exploitation. If the sex trade was legalized, the funds previously spent on the control of prostitution could be assigned to other benefits of society. Canada is at a crucial crossroads. Justice Susan Himmel of the Ontario Supreme Court recently struck down prostitution so that prostitutes would not be forced to choose between their liberty and their security of the person as protected under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Now is the time to take action and support this movement. For all the reasons we have already stated, prostitution should be legalized. Canada can join the many other countries that successfully and safely operate a sex trade. We have started a petition in order to get the ball rolling. Please join us in taking up this cause and sign. A simple signature can go on to make the difference. We now present to you our lesson thought, which is a quote stated by Tobias.
The whore is despised by the hypocritical world because she has made a realistic assessment of her assets and does not have to rely on fraud to make a living. In an area of human relations where fraud is regular practice between sexes, her honesty is regarded with a mocking wonder. This has been a quote by Angela Carter.